Let me guess. You didn't blow thousands of dollars on something reckless last year. You didn't gamble it away. You didn't make one massive mistake that destroyed your finances overnight. Instead, it was quieter than that. It was convenience. It was comfort. It was a few upgrades that felt harmless at the time. You got a raise, or your income slowly increased, and somehow your bank balance didn't. And now you're sitting there thinking, wait, I make more money than I used to. Why doesn't it feel like it? If that thought has crossed your mind, you're not alone. Because most people don't lose money dramatically. They lose it slowly, invisibly, and politely. And there's one $1,000 decision that almost everyone makes that quietly costs them over $100,000 across their lifetime. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they're bad with money, but because nobody ever explained how this actually works. My name is Brian, and I probably think about money behavior, compounding, and financial blind spots more than I should. And if you're someone who earns money but still feels like you're running in place financially, like you're doing okay but not actually moving forward, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video if this helps you. Because today, we're talking about a decision that doesn't feel dangerous, doesn't feel irresponsible, and doesn't even feel like a mistake. But mathematically and psychologically, it quietly shapes your entire financial future. Here's the belief that traps most people. They think big financial problems come from big mistakes. Buying a house that's too expensive, taking on massive debt, making a terrible investment. And sure, those things can hurt, but for most people, that's not what holds them back. What actually does the damage are small, boring, emotionally justified decisions that compound in the wrong direction. They don't show up as disasters, they show up as comfort. And comfort is dangerous because it doesn't feel like a mistake. Let's talk about what the $1,000 decision actually is. At some point in life, usually in your 20s or 30s, something changes. You stop living paycheck to paycheck, or at least it feels like you should be past that stage. You start earning an extra $1,000 a month, sometimes from a raise, sometimes from a better job, sometimes just from gradual income growth. And you don't sit down and consciously decide to sabotage your future. What you tell yourself is much more reasonable. I deserve this. I've worked hard. I'll start saving later. It's not that much money anyway. So the extra money slowly disappears into lifestyle upgrades, a nicer apartment, more eating out, a higher car payment, subscriptions you barely think about, convenience spending that feels normal. Nothing crazy, nothing reckless, just enough to feel more comfortable. Quick pause here. If this already sounds familiar, go ahead and like the video. It helps the channel, and it tells me this kind of content is actually useful. Alright, let's keep going. Here's what most people never realize. That $1,000 decision isn't really about spending $1,000. It's about what that money could have become if it had been invested instead. Let's look at real numbers. If you invested just $500 per month, not even the full 1,000, and earned a 7% real annual return, which is roughly the long-term historical average after inflation, here's what happens. After 10 years, that account grows to around $86,000. After 20 years, it grows to roughly $260,000. After 30 years, it grows to more than $600,000. And again, that's from only half of the extra money. So when we say this decision costs $100,000, that's actually being conservative. For many people, it costs several $100,000. Quietly, predictably, without ever feeling like a loss. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but that money doesn't feel real to me. And that reaction makes complete sense. Because humans are terrible at understanding opportunity cost over long periods. Psychologists call this hyperbolic discounting. We massively overvalue the present and heavily discount the future. A nicer life today feels tangible. A richer life 30 years from now feels abstract. Your brain literally treats future you like a stranger. So when you choose comfort now over compounding later, your brain doesn't register it as a loss. It registers it as relief. Here's what makes this especially dangerous. When you spend money, you see what you got. When you don't invest money, you never see what you missed. There's no notification, no warning, no receipt. You never open your investment account and see a line that says, "This is the money you could have had." So the decision feels neutral. But neutral decisions, repeated consistently, shape outcomes. Imagine two people, same age, same income, same city. Person A gets a raise and immediately upgrades their lifestyle. Person B gets the same raise and automates investing before upgrading anything. Person A feels better immediately. Person B feels basically the same. Fast forward 15 years. Person A wonders why things still feel tight, why progress feels slow, why money still causes stress. Person B has options. Same effort, same intelligence, different systems. If you want to be in the second group, subscribe to the channel. That's exactly what this channel is about. This is where it gets really interesting, because the problem isn't discipline, it's timing. Most people try to save what's left over, but what's left over is almost always nothing, because lifestyle expands to fill income. This isn't a personal failure, it's human behavior. That's why automation beats motivation every single time. When investing happens automatically before you see the money, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice. It just feels normal. Now, you might be thinking, so am I just not supposed to enjoy my money? No, this isn't about deprivation. It's about sequence. You lock in your future first, then you enjoy the rest without guilt. Because spending without a system feels good in the short term, but stressful in the long term. Here's something subtle most people miss. When your money isn't working for you, your job feels heavier. Because deep down, you know that if your income stops, everything stops. There's no buffer, no momentum, no leverage. But when investments grow quietly in the background, something changes. You feel less rushed, less desperate, more patient. Money stops feeling like an emergency. If this is changing how you think about money, like the video now. Most people forget later. And if you're not subscribed, YouTube probably won't show you the next video, and that one might save you even more money. The $1,000 decision is boring. It's choosing automation over intention, systems over willpower, future leverage over present comfort. And boring decisions repeated consistently outperform dramatic ones every time. Let's make this practical. Step 1. Identify your surplus. Look at your last raise, bonus, or income increase. Step 2. Capture it immediately. Automate investing before lifestyle creep absorbs it. Step 3. Start smaller than you think. Even $200 or $300 per month matters. Step 4. Spend the rest guilt-free. Once the system is in place, enjoy what's left. Here's the good news. Compounding works forward just as powerfully as it works against you. The same quiet math that steals from your future can also build it, but only if you stop making invisible decisions on autopilot. Before you click away, subscribe. This channel is about understanding money calmly and honestly, without hype, without shame, without nonsense. And if this video helped you see money differently, like it. Future you will be glad you did. I'll see you in the next one.